And now it's time for the Tagcast podcast with Terry and Gatch. My name's Terry Guile.
I don't like your jerk-off name. I don't like your jerk-off face. I don't like your jerk-off behavior. And I don't like you, jerk-off.
See, because I paid a lake for weed like in the 70s and I never got the real one back.
You just got tagged.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
And his name is Dustin Gatchell.
I heard in Hawaii, your spam email is your good email.
The Tagcast podcast starts right now.
Well, we only got 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes now for 20. Only 2 minutes now for 20. Only 2 minutes now for 20. What can I smoke a full out for 20?
Hello and welcome to the Tagcast podcast. My name's Terry and I'm the white guy of the podcast.
And I am Gatch.
Who are you?
I am the Indian of the... Well, it's kind of weird when we dub in music.
Yeah, I can't seem to hear it right now. What song is that you're playing?
It's for something. For Loco.
Foreigner?
Yeah, it'll be...
This jukebox hero from Foreigner 4.
I love this song. Jukebox Hero.
Speaking of jukebox heroes, we
I
have a
always thought
guest.
he said Ku Klux Hero, though.
Figures being an Indian and everything. Hey, we got a guest in the house. We got Jesse Priest here, a local comedian. How are you doing today, Jesse?
I am doing wonderful.
We sent him on a wild goose chase.
My goodness.
Oh, we did.
We do that.
We sent him... Well, we got a secret studio, and so we got to keep,
So I sent him to the other side of town because I didn't want to put in the message because someone could have hacked his account and got the address.
Yeah.
And then he called me from the other side of town, and I didn't know where he was, and he's here now, so it's all good.
It's like those rave parties with multiple map points, like where you go to one place, pick up a map, which sends you to another place where you get a different map.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that was an amazing race.
I'm a little sweaty right now.
Are you? Sweaty balls.
Yep.
Have you ever had that ice cream, sweaty balls?
I saw it recently. I haven't tried it.
I haven't
Is it a
tried
real thing?
either. Yeah, it's Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, Ben and
sweaty
Jerry's.
balls.
Endorsed by Alec Baldwin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think he did a commercial for it.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So, you do anything fun over the weekend? Any comedy shows? Anything
Last
cool, Jesse?
weekend, last weekend, I haven't been doing a lot of comedy shows as of recently.
Me neither. It sucks.
Just the stuff that I always put on.
The triangle and stuff
that I
like that.
can't
Yeah.
get out of. Yeah. Well, I guess I've been running my open mic every
Yeah.
day.
How's that go? I've never got to go up yet to Unmanic Mondays at the Triangle.
It's taken 2 years, but I'm
Starting
finally,
to.
I'm getting turnout. It's a
Yeah.
it's a weekly deal, so I'm finally
cool.
getting a real turnout.
Right on.
A good
That's
turnout.
awesome. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to get people to come out and continue coming out and not lose interest or just, I don't know.
Mainly the audience. I got the stand-ups there every week.
That's good.
they're
That's good.
definitely-
And it's a fun enough to go tell jokes to the fellow comedians if that's all that happens.
Yeah.
That's kind of what bouncing ideas off and stuff. So that's cool.
Oh yeah.
And just
Yeah.
good times, having good times and fun.
Good times and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys both ought to come out on a Monday night.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that far. We could just. I could come here and pick you up and
And that
hop up the
bartender
freeway.
there, our bartender Tamberly, she will get you drunk.
We know her actually. We play Sons of Confusion played there a couple times, and I did a couple solo shows with John Fro. And
Okay.
So she kind of knows us.
You do solo music?
I do like
Mellower music?
Yeah, like solo acoustic. I pulled out. Let's see what I do last time. I did some Flight of the Conchords and Tenacious D, and then I do a few of my own songs and some Sons of Confusion songs. But I hope I didn't piss her off. We were on good terms last time, but she did catch me smoking weed in the parking lot once, and she wasn't very happy about it. Well, she doesn't. She just didn't know me then, and she's like, "Hey, if you're gonna," she wasn't like super stern, but you know how when you get caught smoking weed by the person who's running the place, you're like, you just go, and you feel all small. And I was like, I'm sorry. And she goes, it's okay, just don't do it. And I was like, Okay. I understand that, and I can respect that.
It must have been a night when the owner was there or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
They're pretty lax there oftentimes.
Yeah, and this was, like I said,
Or maybe
I think
because it was the parking lot.
Yeah, and it was the first time I'd been there.
I always go behind.
And I was like
dumpster, at
in that
least.
first handicap spot right there by those windows and stuff, so I totally understood.
Okay,
But
sure. Yeah.
she's like, I was just like leaning on my car. I wasn't like blatantly doing it, but I could have been in my car being a little more discreet.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I haven't been able to do many comedy shows lately either. I did do Cannabis Cafe on my birthday. Speaking of smoking weed, and boy,
Yeah.
Saturday, your birthday, right?
Yeah, I got a case of Mountain Dew for my birthday. That's all I got.
Nice.
You know, it's probably been a year since I've been to that place to do comedy.
It's still fun.
I thought you were going to say it's been almost a year since you had a birthday.
No, it's been a couple weeks. A couple months.
Oh, you
rather.
recently had? Okay.
It was the end of June.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to smoke out of this 4-foot steamroller.
Oh.
Nice.
They were given a like, you know, you got to stand over there, and then like once he lets his finger off, it just about knocked me for a loop.
Sure.
But it's good times up there, and the gravity bong that they have is awesome. Loving that. I was spilling water all over the table because I got a little out of control, but that happens up there.
I spent the weekend talking smack to flies. That's what I've been doing lately.
With a swatter?
No, I just talk smack to them. I'm like, come on, you little fucker. You're going to fuck with me. I'm going to fucking kill you.
They don't dive bomb your head when you do that?
Oh, they do, man. Today, there was one that I was fucking around with him talking shit, and then I was doing something, and I turned around, and he was right in my face. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. You know what I'm doing. You can hear me. You can understand English. Fucking flies.
Fucking flies. So yeah, earlier on my Facebook, I put a thing out asking if anybody had any questions for Jesse, and he's like, "Oh, throw me under the bus." And I was like,
Oh, here, check this out. Here's what I thought you had written. The rest of the post
Is that a Burton
said,
joke?
"Have we said anything that rubbed you the wrong way?" And I thought, you had written, "Had he?"
okay. Oh,
That's why I was like, "Oh, great, throw me under the bus here."
And I didn't understand. I was like, "Oh, he doesn't want to be asked any questions, I guess."
no,
But then
I'm all about questions.
Jim Louder said, "Seeing it is overrated." He goes, "I want to hear it. And I want to download it and hear him getting thrown under the bus." So that was kind of funny.
Sure.
That was the only response we got, but we've had some new likes over the last week. I got kind of scared because I didn't think we were going to, but then I put some plea for likes, and it worked. I was like, I have 700 friends on my Facebook, and only 46 of them like my page. Come like my page. So here comes Carmichael McGee, and I think Amber
Mike
Hankins.
I saw those a few.
And a couple others I can't remember, but they were people who I knew already knew us and liked us, but they hadn't physically clicked on the like, which is fine.
Yeah.
I hate my personal Facebook page.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate all of them.
Yeah.
I wish there was something besides Facebook.
Oh my goodness, it's coming.
There is Google Plus. I just had this conversation with someone the other day because they're like, I'm done with Facebook. I'm going to go and
So many
go to
people say
Google Plus and start branching out there. And you know, I just said, you know, you won't see me there. And I equated it in this analogy to where Myspace is VHS, right?
Yeah.
And Facebook is DVD.
So we're waiting for the Blu-ray?
And Google Plus is the Blu-ray. And it's like, everybody left VHS. Everybody left MySpace.
Hey.
But only the people that want to replace their collection again are going to go to Blu-ray. That's not going to be a high percentage of people.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't catch on more because everybody's got Android phones and that
Right.
stuff works like perfectly
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I believe it.
But nobody uses it, and
Yeah.
it's dumb because it's way better. But
I guess you almost have to wait for the new influx of kids, because you have to wait until basically kids are whining that they can't have a Google Plus account rather than a Facebook account, right?
I don't even know.
Then you know that it's at the height of its.
I don't
it's
really
overtaken.
know. What's the difference between Google Plus and Facebook? Anything?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think
didn't
when
check
I
it out.
signed in for Google Plus, it asked me if it wanted me, or if I wanted it to download all my Facebook stuff. I was like, well,
Why? So I could have a carbon copy page?
that's what I kind of thought. And I know, you know, it might be a good idea to go there and, I don't know, started networking before. You know,
by the
you're behind
way,
the times.
I take offense. I do not use MySpace, but I do use VHS. So.
there's people out there that
All
are
right.
like all about VHS.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like there's people that are all about vinyl.
Yeah.
Which I understand. The
I like vinyl.
thing.
What about Beta? My friend has a Beta machine. He's always asking me
Seriously,
if I
dude,
know anybody.
I've
who
got
has
some
Beta
tapes. I think I just burned them or did something with them, but I had a
Burned
box
them.
of them. That's not very environmentally friendly, is it?
It's not.
I didn't burn them physically. Literally, I just was saying mean things to them.
Oh,
Like
I
you
thought you
s-
meant like you were burning them onto DVD.
No, I said, you stupid Beta tapes. You're so outdated,
You were
Beta.
talking shit to the Beta tapes.
Burned them.
Dude, burn.
You could have sold them to a hipster.
Hey, I heard a funny. These have been burned. I was talking shit to him. No, my friend came over today, and it was the guy I was talking. We were talking before he came on the air about Megadeth and how they kind of alienated. Dave Mustaine alienated himself from his prior beliefs and stuff that he said.
Because
in
he's
his
all
lyrics.
Republican now.
And Christian, yeah, which whatever.
Is he
But,
Christian?
Yeah,
He's a Christian rocker?
he's not a Christian rocker, but he's a Christian.
He had that album where it was all like about conspiracy theories
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like New World Order.
Yeah. And the Peace Sells one, and now he's like all Republican. But anyway, what was I getting at? Oh, my friend came over, and we were talking about that, and then he told me a funny story. He said, have you ever heard of the band Witchburn? And I said, yeah, I like those guys and girls. And he's like, I was out at the freeway at 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday night, Saturday morning, getting my coffee for work at 4 in the morning, and
Getting
there was
your
this
coffee on.
chick, and she was just like so drunk, and she was falling down, and she had this box of money. And I was like, what? And he's like, it was the chick from Witchburn. And they were coming back from a show somewhere, and she was falling down. He goes, I helped her into the truck. He goes, I felt kind of cool because those guys, he didn't know who they were, but he was like saying, are those guys popular? And I was like, well, it's the chick from Hell's Bells, or maybe a couple chicks from Hell's Bells. He's like, oh, I knew because he'd seen Hell's Bells, you know, so
Yeah.
he was pretty much bragging.
So
They
do
were
you-
all wasted.
Do you think that was funny?
What?
Do you
Funny
think
how?
No, do you think it's fun? No, that's funny though.
That's not a funny story.
Oh, I was just wondering because last week or on Monday you were saying Falling Down wasn't a comedy.
It's a crime drama. What's funny? Do I make you laugh? Am I a
What's
clown?
funny about Falling Down? Oh man, it's just like
You've seen that movie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I thought it was supposed to be a comedy,
He
but it's
did
kind of
too.
depressing.
Yeah.
It is,
Kind of
it is,
depressing
but it's kind of a dark
kinda like
comedy
we
just
said
because everybody
Fargo.
wants to do that. You're lashing out,
Oh,
but he's
sure.
over the top
Oh,
in a
sure.
comedic way.
Yeah.
But everybody, you know, it's one of those things that most people, I think, can relate to at least in one way or another.
Yeah, and
Maybe
it's
that's
kind of like the
crime,
deal.
crime,
where
though. No,
Once you snap and go there, that's kind of funny.
Sure.
yeah,
But that's kind of like we talked Fargo. That's funny, but it's considered a crime drama too. But that's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
I can't remember what I said, but I said something.
Lingonberry pancakes.
I said something in the voice of Frances McDormand
Yeah.
from Fargo, and my wife just busted up, and she's like, I totally saw her all pregnant in her
Yeah.
cop outfit, getting ready to go out in the snow, and she's like, I go, was it that good? She goes, it was good. She goes,
Yeah.
if you ever do impressions, I was like, I'm going to do ladies, impressions of ladies?
Do the upper Midwestern accent.
Yeah. I'm not going to even attempt it now, because I'll totally blow it.
Have you guys seen that Jeffrey Ross roasts America?
I saw The Burn, you mean?
No, this is it was last night. I watched it. It was like an hour long. Just had 3 or 4 or 5 different cities that he goes and roasts people up on stage.
No, I saw his The Burn.
I've not seen that. How is that?
It was all right. It was funny because it had J.B. Smoove on it. I love
Nice.
that dude. And it had Amy Schumer, who's kind of
you
cute.
talking about, Larry?
You got long balls, Larry. And then it had Ralphie May on there, which he's coming around. And a lot of people, he's kind of popular right now, big time. But I don't know. I've seen some of his stuff. He doesn't do that much. I don't want to smack talk him, but
Hey, come out to my open mic.
you could win tickets,
Win
huh?
tickets,
Yeah,
yeah.
give us some information on that.
That's on Sunday at Duffy's Hangar in Salem.
Duffy's
right on.
Hangar is
It's on the
located.
Gilchrist, off of 25th near Mission, right off the I-5 exit.
And how much of a turnout did you have when you were giving away those last tickets?
The ones to Greg Proops.
Yeah,
Turnout. It was.
as far as comics.
We had a show. Oh, comics. We
Yeah.
had about 10 guys.
Right on.
Yeah, and we had a crowd. Except there was a birthday party in
love
the very
that.
back.
Love
It's the worst.
That's cool. You can call them out.
Worst. Oh yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
you
we-
guys at the birthday party, man. Fucking shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
was it your traditional birthday party at the comedy show?
Well,
No,
at
they
Duffy's
weren't like,
Hangar.
let's go to a comedy comedy show. They didn't know there was a show that was going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were just going to Duffy's because.
And of course, they were all like, "Oh, we love comedy,"
But we're going to talk through it.
Yeah.
But,
Right on.
It's a free show. I don't get any.
And then you have people. You have judges.
I was using a DB meter app on my phone,
Oh.
and going off a crowd applause.
Right on. Okay. Cool.
Right on.
That's cool.
I've used some of those for sound checks with instruments, but they don't go over. Don't seem like they're accurate. Like at a higher range,
there's a
when you're
threshold.
getting to like 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just pick one up.
Yeah. An actual one. I wonder how much those cost.
Huh, I don't know.
About $100.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to put on a lot of shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a friend that had one, and I'd always borrow it because if the cops come, I'd just be like, "Well, let's check out the DV meter."
Yeah.
Yep.
Do they have a certain amount that they allow?
Yeah, I forget.
Like
what the
city
numbers
ordinance or something like that?
Are.
Yeah.
I forget what the numbers are, and it's different for Kaiser than it is for Salem.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of crap.
Oh, it's less?
It's less in Salem. Salem is really archaic noise laws.
Wow.
It got. Maybe you played this venue before, the Space, a few years back in
I
Salem.
don't think so. I played Wasteland.
No, this was a bar.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
played the Space.
This was a bar, it's a few blocks from where the Wasteland was, and that was the guy that ran the Lame Fest.
Oh,
What the Wasteland
Jared.
was.
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah.
I like the Wasteland because they had that mannequin that with the shaved head in the middle that you could kick around on
Dude,
the
people
floor
were
while
kicking
the
around
kids
heads
ran around.
and they were kicking hands around and all kinds of shit. That was kind of a fun
That was
place.
awesome.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I think, speaking of Lame Fest, I was talking to you there. You were talking about trying to acquire more rooms and more shows. Is that still doing that?
I'm working towards it.
Right on.
I've been kind of out of commission these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right
getting
on.
back on my feet right now.
Cool.
Getting ready to hit the ground running.
Right on. Yeah, me too. I kind of took a little a rest on my laurels there for a little while, but I've been sending out some things and trying to write some more and try to, I don't know, come back from a little hiatus. But
You
I've
know
been writing
who?
that whole time. I wrote a new 10 minutes,
sweet.
but I've just been working on it at the Triangle.
I wrote one new joke.
Nice.
I got a little chuckle up
But
there
it's
at the
10
cafe.
minutes long.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute joke. The punchline's only 10 seconds, and that's the funny
You know
part.
who isn't working on jokes is Vince Neil. Did you hear about him?
No, but we were talking about him today, too, about how bad he sings.
Vince Neil does jokes.
No.
No,
His singing is a joke.
He was at I just saw a video of him, and he was yelling at these people, the valets, to give him his Rolls Royce. He just kept going, "Give me my car! Give me my car!" He'd be banging on the window, "Give me my car!" That's all the video was, pretty much.
The girl I do
That's
the
awesome.
open mic with just saw Motley Crue and Kiss.
Yeah?
Oh, really?
And said that he sounded awful.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
him in
I
the
thought you were going to
Vince
say
Neil band.
awesome for a second because, I have a friend who plays in an 80s metal kind of butt rock cover band in Eugene, and he saw him, and he had posted on his singer's site, dude, Vince Neil sounds like exactly like when you make fun of Vince Neil at practice, but a little worse. He's like, he was terrible. They said the band rocked, and they were spot on with their music, but Vince Neil was just like a bad karaoke singer or something. It's like...
And just like didn't even seem into it or anything,
I feel sorry because the fans are paying an arm and a leg. That's why I didn't go.
Yeah.
I can't afford prices like that.
I should go to more shows. I don't go to many concerts anymore. I used
Yeah.
to go all the time.
Yeah.
I used to have a podcast and a music blog, and I used to get into shows. Like whatever show I wanted to see, I would just contact the label, be like, "Who's your PR company?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's Darkstar or whatever."
Yeah.
And I'd email Terry at Darkstar and be like, "Hey, I want tickets to this show," and he'd be like, "All right, bring your ID," and like I was in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was super fun, and then I'd just have to, take pictures and, write about it.
Right.
Very soon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else they'd probably not do that anymore. Not give you the comp tickets or whatever.
Well, I just don't do the site anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of big concerts and stuff like that and the comps, I was listening to my friend on his podcast, and they recently went and saw ZZ Top down in California.
Nice.
And
I got 25 lighters on my dresser.
I know, I heard that song on the radio finally in its entirety. I hadn't heard that. I was like, what is he, a fucking crackhead or what? Why does he need 25 lighters on his
He's
dresser?
got 25 of everything in that song.
Okay, that's what it is. But anyway, so they wanted to go see ZZ Top, but they didn't want to pay minimum $40 for
Brutal.
for the
tough,
nosebleeds.
man. That's why I
and then
don't
the
go
floor
anymore.
seats were 90. So he has a friend that works for the local radio station in Sacramento down there, and he treats him pretty good. So he called him up. He goes, I know it's last minute, the show's tonight, but is there a chance there's any ZZ Top tickets? He goes, I'll leave 2 of them for you at the station. And he goes, cool. He's a big wrestling fan as well.
Nice.
Left him 4 tickets for WW whatever is going on right now. So, yeah, he was stoked. He got to go to Monday Night Raw or something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so they go to the ZZ Top concert. They're a long ways away. They said they put on a great show. About 55 minutes into the set, they said, thank you, good night. There was no opening act, and they didn't even play an hour.
Wow.
That's brutal.
And
Dude.
so he
gots to get paid.
They didn't play Cheap Sunglasses. They didn't play TV Dinners, which didn't bother me, but wouldn't have bothered me. Remember their big hit, I'm a Rough Boy? Remember that? Rough Boy?
Yeah.
Their
I
ballad.
would
They didn't
like
play
to
that.
hear their earlier stuff, but I don't mind that 25, when it gets down.
Well, he said they
to it,
played
it's
some
kinda-
new stuff, which was cool. He goes, but they just didn't give enough time to play all the hits that they should if you're
Do
charging
you think
$90.
it was a venue thing or that it was a ZZ Top thing?
I
Because
don't know,
sometimes
but
venues go, you got to be out by this time.
he was like, I didn't want to say anything because I got my tickets for free. He goes, but then we were kind of waiting for people to clear out, and these people were walking past us, an older couple who had paid their money.
They're
like,
giving their
and he
25
just-
lighters on
he's-
their dresser.
Yeah, he kind of looked at the guy and he goes, was that short? And Bobby just goes, that, I just fucking said, okay, he said it. He flipped. He goes, that's bullshit, isn't it? He goes, they didn't do Cheap Sunglasses. You guys are playing $90 to see ZZ Top. They're a classic band. There's no opening act, and you're only going to play for 55 minutes? Come on.
Yeah,
man.
that's weak.
It is weak.
That
At
is
least
weak.
have an
And,
opening act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I mean, geez.
well, he's
Bring a
only got
tribute
25 lighters on his dresser. He's got to get paid.
he didn't even just get paid. They didn't play that song either.
I would.
They didn't play
fuck
Pearl
that.
Necklace.
Oh, dude, man.
Oh,
that, and when I was dating that 70-year-old, that was me and her song.
What?
Yeah.
Did you buy her one, or did you just provide her?
I gave her several of them.
Gave her one. Wow.
Brutal.
That is brutal.
I got 25 pearl necklaces on my dresser.
That's going to get gross.
on your own dresser.
I didn't say they were all mine.
So,
At least put that in a jar or something.
save it
Don't
for
give me
later.
ideas.
Dresser.
Don't even get me started. So I told you before we talked about TV and stuff. I don't watch a lot of TV, but my wife was watching some reality TV, and then
Oh, you were watching it? Okay.
no, late, and I was doing something, and then she left, and the TV was on the same channel. The next thing I know, there's some show on called Duck Dynasty. Have you seen this?
I know what you're talking about.
No.
And it's showing, and I come out of context. It's in the middle of the episode, and I'm like, it's showing these rednecks that are just redneckersons, like worse than you'd ever see, and they're all rich and shit, and they're doing all this stuff, and I'm like, honey, who are these people, and why do they have a show? These people aren't even famous for being famous, like
They're
Kim
just
Kardashian.
duck hunting family.
They make duck calls, and
Oh, that's
they
what it
made
is.
$1 million industry out of making duck calls.
Sure.
So now that they're rich, and it says the trials and tribulations of a family.
Yeah. I don't watch
Dude,
that.
I
I mean, I
don't
watch some
either.
certain shows, but that's not one that I'll watch.
How'd you know about it then?
Well, I've seen it on TV, but I know what it is, and I always skip past it. I'll go to like some storage show or something.
I wish I would have wrote more down because it was pure comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, got
Oh,
sucked
yeah.
into it because of the things that they were saying. Oh, they found this beehive that had a whole
Yep.
bunch of honey in it, and they were like going out
The
there and
ones
trying to get
on,
it. They all got stung to shit, and then the grandpa goes out there and he brings a little kettle with smoke, and he's pouring smoke on it, and he gets
Yeah. I don't know what channel. It might be True TV that has the Hardcore Pawn and like Storage Hunters, but
I like those shows.
those shows, yeah, but they're definitely about the
drama.
the confrontations, that happen between the people and
Like
stuff.
I was watching Storage Wars, and it happened to be an old episode, which I'd seen a couple times from like the first one, where those guys, you know that guy that's, yep.
Yep.
So
Dave Hester.
Daryl and his son like wore a hat of his business, but marked something off on it and said con or something. And he got so pissed, and they took it on and on. It's like, well, once you have a business, then I can make that. That's not fair playing grounds because I've got a business with shirts and hats, and you don't have one. I was like, hey, whatever, you're a con, Dave.
Wow.
He's like, and he was all cussing and shit, and he was all pissed off. But I saw some not episodes, but previews for the new season, and It seemed kind of interesting because I haven't watched it for a while.
Yeah.
With all the marathons, it's like you've seen every episode.
Jesus.
And that's the thing about this Duck Dynasty. They were having a fucking marathon of that. How long has it been on to where they can already have 6 episodes of play in a row?
That's Animal Planet, though, or something, isn't it?
I hate that shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I won't. I don't know. There's funnier redneck shows on TV.
Breaking Bad.
Like, yeah.
That's my favorite show. That's
Dude,
the
I
only
know.
TV show I really
Yeah.
watch. Is
What
Breaking
about
Bad
that
and,
show?
Louis.
Yeah, Louis good. Yeah.
What about that show right after Breaking Bad, the Small Town Security? Have you seen that?
No, I download Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would usually watch it online if I don't catch it at night. But there's a show on Small Town Security. It's surreal. It's weird. I mean, it's their own
I don't have the
show.
channel, so I just watch it on
Oh,
Netflix.
and then they
Took my IFC.
yeah, but I don't know. I would suggest watching one episode and seeing if it's
Sure. I would check it out.
yeah, it's
stuff that
almost
comes
like
out
in
on
a
A&E.
documentary style of like Reno 911 kind of.
Sure.
You know, everybody guns a-blazing and
Yeah.
irresponsible and funny.
I love that. It's kind of like Trailer Park Boys. Guns a-blazing and irresponsible and funny.
You guys big Who fans? What do you guys think of The Who?
The band The Who or Doctor Who?
The band The Who.
The band The Who, I like, their first record sounds like a Beatles ripoff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll probably have to get closer. I mean, we can hear you, but you're
Yeah,
kind of quiet
yeah.
on the mic.
Sorry about
That's
that.
no problem. I like The Who, but like we were talking earlier, I don't
Uh-huh.
really like Pete Townsend as much as I like The Who.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering is if you can be a diehard Who fan without being a fan of Pete Townsend. Because I'm not really a fan of Pete Townsend.
Was
You know, I know he's
was
got
he
the
caught with
windmill.
kitty porn?
I don't think so, but
No,
I'm pretty
he's
sure that he
Rough
is.
Boys, Leather Boys. But that's not, I mean, he's known for the windmill and thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of
Power
respect.
slide.
Yeah, on his knees.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect
smashing
for
his instruments.
Smashing
Yeah,
guitars. He's
yeah.
a pioneer in that, but when you listen to The Who, the guitar doesn't really jump out
No.
and grab you like
I like
a
it.
rockin' solo.
ant whistles,
It's more
like
of the songwriting.
bass going on, and Keith Moon being a monster on that drums. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe Pete Townsend had to do those giant mannerisms
To
just
make up for his,
yeah, chorusy guitars. That was going on maybe there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think everybody liked The Who for Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he was
His voice was just
Yeah.
so,
and his presence, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like Roger Daltrey is the only person that ever looks like right at the camera.
Right.
In the movie.
Yeah.
And Tommy.
Yeah.
He's the only
Yeah.
one that ever does.
I saw that as a kid. It was in the theaters with my parents, and that was such a trippy movie. And now when I watch it today, it's just so weird. And it's a surreal. Oh, it's awesome, though. I love Jack
Yeah.
Nicholson and Anne Margaret in that movie. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I do think that The Who is cool and almost, in a way, a precursor to sort of punk rock, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I think
I mean, they
there's
weren't
definitely
punk,
some. No, I
but
don't.
there's
But I think that
The
they.
spasticity
The
or what
attitude, the play by your
yeah,
own rules.
and the Keith Moon.
Yeah.
He was a
Their
wild
symbol,
man.
that symbol on their shirts, that's kind of
Yeah.
looks like what's that punk band? Down by Law.
Yeah,
kind
with
of
the
looks
yeah.
a similar symbol.
Yeah.
You know?
And they were kind of mods when
Yeah.
they were like, I don't know what the other people were. They weren't hipsters, but they might have been hipsters, but they didn't call them
Mods
that.
were kind of the hipsters. Back
They were,
then.
huh?
Beatniks?
Yeah, the Beatniks and the mods were kind of at odds with each other, probably.
Ooh, was it like metal and
Rough
kinda like-
boys out on the street. I want
I don't
to get
think that
inside
was.
you.
What?
He says that.
Was that a duet he was doing with Rob Halford?
No, it was Rod Stewart pushing Elton John's stool in while he did a piano solo.
While drinking
remember?
12 gallons.
And Rob Halford was playing the skin flute.
Speaking of that, what about favorite G.G. Allen moments? You got any favorite G.G. Allen moments, you guys?
I have one.
Yeah?
That's my favorite
All
out
right.
of many. Have you ever seen that video where I think they're in Boston or something?
Uh-huh.
And the venue knew what they were in for because they put
Yeah.
a sheet on the stage already because he was backstage like chugging whiskey and eating X-Lax so he could shit a lot on the stage.
Yeah. you
And
have
he
to.
shit all over and in his hand and he's rubbing it on himself and he's throwing it at the audience and he's singing. And there's this chick right in the front, like the closest to the stage of anybody, and she's like standing there just rocking out.
Uh-huh.
He's covered with shit and completely naked, and he gets done with a verse, and he just launches off the stage a flying, whatever you call it, a flying punch to the head, and he just fucking punches this chick right out. And then, like, all these guys want to protect her, but he's got shit all over him.
Yeah.
And so they're like, ah! and they're running around. He's like going, come on, and he's wiping it on his chest.
He's probably done that 50 times.
He's wiping it on his cheeks and shit, and he's just like, ugh. And then my friend Jeff Walter, who now plays in Poison Idea, he saw G.G. Allin on the last show that he ever played in Portland at the Roseland. There's actually a famous shirt out right now that has a flyer of the the Seattle show and the Portland show. But anyway, he said that he gave himself a Pepsi enema with a turkey baster and shoved the mic up his ass and then bashed his teeth out with the same mic. That's hardcore.
Wow, that's intense. My brother said KMFDM, the girl in that band, stuck the mic up her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a SM57 or if it was a 58.
I would hope the 58's the one without the ball on the end.
No, that's the 57. It's just got the straight.
Oh, it's the 57 then.
This is a 58 and it's got the ball, and that would be a...
What about one of those Elvis
you would definitely
mics?
want the instrument mic, not the vocal mic.
Yeah.
I would just kind of really hope it'd be one of those Bob Barker mics, one of the old 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's really weird that you brought up G.G. Allin, and it's also weird that this is the second Wednesday that we haven't said Happy Hump Day to everybody.
Happy G.G. Humpin' Day. Go out and
It's
hump
G.G. Allen's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Today's G.G.
Well, Wednesday, yes, today, Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, go out and hump and wipe some shit on yourself.
Here's my second favorite G.G. Allin moment.
All right.
Is on a home video that his brother Merle, Merle had hired a stripper to piss in Gigi's mouth because that's what he'd wanted. And so he's lying on his back eating hot dogs or some weird shit, or he's sticking a hot dog up her ass and all this other stuff. And he's laying on his back, and she is pissing in his mouth as he's laying on his back, and then he proceeds to volcano it, puke. And he's like, and this is all on tape. So if you guys want to check out some awesome imagery that you didn't just already bring up in your own mind, check out G.G. Allin videos. Hated. I told you I just like to watch VHS.
Yeah.
G.G. Allin Hated, and
you can pick that up on Amazon.
Yeah, and if you go to our site first, we'll get a penny.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like there's the countless times he was on the talk show. I can't remember who, Jane Pauley. Is that
and he was on Jerry Springer too.
Yeah, but the time he was on Jane Pauley, and she was like trying to be like a...
Dude, it was so funny.
And she was trying to be like a legit reporter, right? Like a news person.
Pretty much giving him his. He was like wearing his little outfit, and he was
there with like,
I'm not a robot like all you people in the audience. And she's like, he goes, you guys wear your fucking uniforms every day and you conform to the man. I'm G.G. Allin. I'm the rock and roll messiah. And this and that. He's talking with his lips because his teeth are all busted. She's like, so you're telling me that what you're wearing isn't a uniform, an outfit? He goes, this is what I wear every day. She goes, that's what a uniform is. It's the one thing that he goes, no, uniform. And so she was like, he was trying to be all punk rock and say that he's this. And she was just like, well, what about this? This makes no sense. And he was just like, didn't know what to say.
What about that 13-year-old girl you're sitting there with?
I think she was 16. She had left her parents to go on the road with G.G. Allin, and she was on this talk show. She's like, he is my messiah, and I am his disciple, and I'll just do anything for G.G. And she was pretty hot.
That reminds me of,
I mean,
in a punky,
I shouldn't say that because she was 16.
But in a punky,
she wasn't ugly.
She was pretty hot if we were in Bulgaria.
Yeah. If I was 14, she would be gorgeous.
You could easily see her on Suicide Girls.
Yeah. So I thought that you were actually bringing up Gigi to get to segue for our celebrity birthdays.
Oh, no.
That's awesome. Coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's a question.
Have some celebrity birthdays.
If Gigi was alive today, he would be 56 years old.
Wow.
Could you imagine what Gigi would be doing at 56?
He would have got together with Pete Townsend in music and in other ways, I think.
Now, do you know who shares a birthday with Gigi Allin today?
Who?
Another passed away pop superstar.
Oh, it's got to be Diana Ross.
Michael fucking Jackson.
That is Diana Ross, isn't it?
Reincarnation. Oh, man. So I never knew that Michael Jackson and Gigi Allin were on the same birthday.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson Gigi Allen was 2 when Michael Jackson was born.
Who do you think fucked more kids?
That's the most legitimate question we've had for the whole episode. Thank you for that, Jesse. If anyone listening has the answer, or maybe we'll take a poll. Yeah. Who do you think fucked more kids, Gigi or Michael Jackson? and I've heard rumor told that the birthday present that Gigi received on his 2nd birthday was Michael Jackson.
Which he asked for.
I think he was. He was only 2. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's all the celebrity birthdays I got. But a pseudo-celebrity and good friend and friend of the podcast and friend of Jesse's, Don Frost. Happy birthday, buddy.
Hey,
I don't know if he's listening.
Happy birthday.
I listened to your show, you loud son of a bitch. He said he might come on sometime if we had another reason to bring him down, like a show or something like that. But
yeah.
So happy birthday. We won't even tell everybody that he's 34. Oh, whoops. Sorry, buddy. You're a youngster compared to me, but you're old compared to Jesse.
Also, I would like 34. To throw out a happy unbirthday.
I love those.
To the guy that was wandering around in the freeway trying to, he was drunk. And he was trying to instigate in
his camo.
He was trying to instigate a Bigfoot sighting and ended up being hit by 2 cars and killed.
I saw a thing, but I didn't know he was doing that.
Was too good.
Oh, yeah. He had that stuff that looks like foliage.
Yeah.
I saw a little thing about that.
Yeah.
Dude, where was that?
I'm not on the internet.
And he was hit by 2 teenage girls in different cars.
2 separate teenage girls.
And
one was only a learner's permit.
Yeah. So the one hit him, and then he's like hit, and he's in the road laying there.
Sasquatch would have never got hit.
Dude, Sasquatch never gets hit.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Because I don't think the Sasquatch is real.
What? You don't?
I'm a little bit leery because don't you think they would have found a bone or a foot?
They never get hit?
They never die?
You guys remember like
they're cannibals.
The Art Bell radio program?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Or, it's in Georgia right now. Anyways, there's a guy that comes on from time to time that claims that Sasquatch has the power to teleport. And that's why people may catch a glimpse, but then he's gone.
Wow. Yeah. That could
weird.
be true.
Wouldn't that be weird if they teleported on visual contact, like somehow they could feel eyes upon them, and that was when they would transport, so they would never be seen other than a glimpse.
There's that scientific principle that's like that when you observe something and it automatically changes it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is that the Heisenberg?
Yeah, when you
Walter
don't
White. Heisenberg.
Nice. You don't know what something is until eyes are observing it, right?
Kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it. Is it like a
everything
sound?
Is.
Oh, that's like Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah,
have the cat
everything is possible, but it's just not probable. Like in my backyard, there could be a jet right now. It's just not probable.
Or a piece of sky junk could fall and hit you.
Yeah,
I can't believe how many people actually get hit by like asteroids and shit.
Yeah.
Or how many? I want to bring that to the next episode or next week or something about some statistics. I was blown away how many asteroids and shit hit people. And
really?
Could you imagine?
I used to play that game.
I did too. But did you ever play the game while you're just walking around outside and all of a sudden a rock hits you in the head from sky?
No, I was kind of out of asteroid by the time they had the Game Boy.
Like rock from sky.
That would be crazy. Do you guys believe, though, since we're on like the supernatural and the Bigfoot, do you believe ghosts in pictures? I saw a creepy picture today that was a couple just sitting there, and then like, I was like, whatever, I've seen those pictures before, but I mean, this looked like a figure of a full-bodied.
That's always weird. But I've also seen weird like band pictures and stuff that are accidentally double exposed, where it just looks like half a person, and it's just like.
Yeah, but this looked like more than that. But I understand it can be doctored.
His family has a few like actual pictures, photographs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, we don't know who this old woman in Victorian clothing is. She's just there. We don't know where it came from.
See, now that's weird.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
What about the people who talk about the orbs in pictures?
The orbs, I've heard that theory
that's
too.
That's just dust and digital camera bullshit,
yeah.
isn't it?
There's a few different things that,
I think
people claim are supernatural in photographs. And the orbs are... It's clearly just like a camera error.
There's too many of them.
It's like a lens flare or something.
Yeah, there's too many of them for me to believe that.
There was a picture of the mosh pit at Verminfest.
Yeah.
and there was like 1,000 of them. It's because everyone was moshing and they had dust in their hair and skin particles were floating around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, this was clearly a figure, though. This wasn't like one of these bubbles or orbs. But, you know, it took me a second because it was in the morning to center on it. And I'm like, what? You know, because I was looking for something not so obvious.
Sure.
But it looked pretty damn real to me. I think, I mean, I don't know. You know.
I've never seen any firsthand experience as far as, like, seeing a ghost or an apparition or, like, even feeling the weird cold draft that they talk about or the smell or anything. But I've seen those shows and been totally intrigued by them. And I've had, like, an ex-girlfriend who claims that she saw her dead grandmother, like, clear as day. And I had no reason to doubt her. And I have other people that tell me this house is so-and-so house is haunted. I've heard ghosts. I hear this. And it's not that I'm a skeptic. It's just, well, I'm a skeptic. But I just never seen it firsthand.
That's the hard part, being a skeptic.
I don't,
because then you have to be an asshole
to
everyone.
I don't think I am.
And just be
though.
like, no, there's no such thing as ghosts. I don't care that you got to say goodbye to your grandmother because that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, nope, didn't happen. Your closure is not real.
So I guess,
sorry.
I guess the more appropriate example of a skeptic is someone like that, right? That just doesn't. See, I'm not the one that's just going to say I don't believe in ghosts. I just say I wish I could see some actual proof, kind of like Jesus.
Yeah.
Or God, or I can see proof of dinosaurs with my eyes. I can see proof of a lot of scientific stuff, and I can't see any proof of Bigfoot, but I can watch those shows all day for the last 30 years, and they never find him.
Yeah.
Sasquatch never gets hit.
So, like,
no,
wow.
like a real skeptic is somebody who would say there is no Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You don't start with somebody saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You start with there is no Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what that person saw.
Yeah.
Because
it couldn't have been a Bigfoot.
It's not, because Bigfoot does not exist.
Right. It had to have been a guy in a monkey suit. Or
yeah, exactly. There's a whole, like, movement based behind that.
Yeah.
Like, they hate alternative medicine.
and alternative metal.
Sure. And so, of course, no aliens, obviously no ghosts, all that stuff. And they, like, live to debunk all that stuff,
Yeah.
But on the other side, they're also into, like, the whole, like, science is awesome, and let's, like, make sure science happens, because, we like smartphones and video games and stuff like that.
A big fan of smartphones was Jim Morrison of The Doors.
How do you figure?
He was, but remember our ongoing conversation about The Doors and, what's the real value in today's music and stuff. Today I heard a song
on your smartphone,
on Jim Morrison's smartphone, and I actually like this song, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse Blues?
Yeah, Roadhouse Blues.
What does it have to do with a smartphone?
I was just segueing.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something that was going to tie in all clever.
It did.
Like, I woke up this morning and I texted my girlfriend.
No, I just
woke up this morning.
I just had Jim Morrison
on your brain.
No, I just wanted to say that was one song. I will give the Doors props
all the time.
Towards
constantly.
Later, yes. They said on that album, dude, they had to just do like one line at a time and like then give them 10 minutes. Now come on back and say, I can move level like a cinema light. Now in 10 minutes, we're going to have you come back and say, LA woman, you're my woman. And then come back in 10 minutes and go, wow, come on.
That would be...
And he got paid top dollar for that stuff. Fucking Jim Morrison.
That is a hard... I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that album, I guess.
Well, that was their last one, and they were kind of just grasping at straws. But, I mean, I think there's a couple good songs.
Well, I think it's really one of the ones that's really played up, though.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you think you like L.A. Woman better than Nickelback? We have a little segment called Better Than Nickelback.
Yeah, I do, because if I was given the choice to listen to Nickelback or to make fun of L.A. Woman while I was listening to it and go,
well, don't you want to make fun of Nickelback while you listen?
No, it just
not even worth listening to, huh?
I can't even fathom making fun of it and tolerating it.
Here's my
at
next question. Would you rather listen to Avril Lavigne than Nickelback?
Avril Lavigne. Hands down.
Didn't they marry each other?
They're getting ready to.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they married each other, or they're gonna marry
They're
each other.
lovers. They're Canadian lovers.
She's gonna like marry the whole band or something.
She traded.
What? No, she's not married.
She traded in the dude.
Oh, man.
She traded in the dude from Sum 41.
Chad Kroger.
Yeah,
Is his name?
for Chad
Yeah.
Kroger. I thought it was photoshopped when I saw the picture, and then I was like, "It's true. They're together." They got pushed together by some record executives to write some songs together.
Oh, and then
And
they
then
fell
they-
in
As
love.
bad as Bush in
But-
the shower.
This I got to touch on because you said she was going to marry the whole band, and
She's a slut.
this reminded me of somebody I worked the other day. Maybe she was doing a pterodactyl. Have you ever heard of the pterodactyl?
I am the pterodactyl.
I don't know if you want to be the pterodactyl. Well, that's pretty good.
Okay, what?
But this like kid at work was telling me the other day that he'd been in a or he asked me if I knew what a pterodactyl was, and I'm like, yeah, well, I know it's a dinosaur, right? And he's like, it ain't
It's a
dinosaur.
bird. It's a flying dinosaur.
Apparently, that's the position where the girl's there, and she has someone underneath her and someone in her mouth, and she's got the two guys at her side with their hands.
Oh, okay.
But why doesn't she go?
I think because she's got something in her mouth.
So how is that? I don't understand.
Well,
it's so funny when you find out something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what it was. We got a friend at the fair named Pierre, and we said, "Oh, Lucky Pierre." Have you ever heard of the Lucky Pierre?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like when you're the dude in the middle of a three-way.
Oh.
And he thought, "Oh, that's cool," and I said, "No, of three dudes." And he's like, "Oh, not so lucky, Pierre." and Pierre Machon, he is a loyal listener of the podcast. So, sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to insinuate anything. But
Yeah,
But if you're into that, it's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
lucky you.
there. Oh man, yeah. I just thought
Things that
pterodactyl.
never happen. ever,
He said,
you know?
he said he felt awkward about it because then he would see his friends.
So how
in
many guys?
school.
There's got to be three guys and
Four.
four guys.
Yeah, because you got one on the bottom
One
that
in
the
the
chick is
mouth.
riding, and then one in the mouth, and then one on each wing.
Each wing.
Could you imagine doing that with your buddies? We got one
no.
girl here, guys, and she
this
is
is what he-
down for all
Yeah.
of us, but only if it's all at the same
Yeah.
time.
But you know what he said? The best part though
No
was
taking turns.
at the end they did the ivory tower, and I said, "What's the ivory tower?" And he said, "That's
Bukkake.
where they all put their arms up and touched arms at the very top like an obelisk." I
They
was
should have
like,
just
now
all
that-
touched penis heads.
I know. I said,
Yeah.
now that makes it weird.
Because you know they're already ball slapping if they're like DPing and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Sure, sure.
Yeah, but it would be.
that's a good subject for the podcast. It's
It
family
is.
friendly here at the Tagcast. Hi to my daughter.
So
who's
Avril
listening.
Lavigne is Dactylin with the Nickelback boys.
Nickel.
The whole band.
Tara Nickelbactyl. Nickelbactyl.
So yeah, I think that should be one of our new phrases that get out there. Would be Dactylin. Dude, check out that chick Dactylin.
Oh. I've never heard of the Pantera. Is it Pantera or is it a silent P?
I think it's I think the P is optional.
Ooh. You guys are sick.
You might mistaken that for Pantera.
Yeah, Pteradactyl. Ooh. That's when you're
That's my
doing that
favorite
to all the
dinosaur.
guys from Pantera plus Zach Wild because he's filling it.
I hear that rumor's not
Zach
true. I
Wild
checked it
is-
out.
Really?
If you follow the link at
I saw a flyer, but
if you follow the link on the website, it goes to Pantera.com, which says it's false.
well, they were saying that there was a Nebworth festival, the Sonosphere, in 2013 was going to be Pantera with Zach Wild on guitar, and Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
and Motley Crue.
It
and-
said it is false, and they will never reunite.
well, thanks for clarifying that because I
But
hate giving out false
who knows?
information.
Who knows?
I've seen it on the
what,
internet.
Where like nobody's ever said that before. Like
Right.
Kiss has never retired.
I just heard that Robert Duvall died,
Or
and just Bill Nye died, but they're not. It was fake.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was all
that was
over
the
the
third
internet.
time Bill
Twitter
Nye
rumors.
had fake death.
Bill Nye.
The science guy.
Well, somebody said that Robert Duvall fell 50 feet to his death while filming a film in New Zealand, and I snoped it,
Yeah.
and it said it was false.
Yeah.
However-
Well, what did they say he had? He had Tony Scott disease.
But they did say that, yeah, he had Tony Scott. He was ridden with Tony Scott. No, but they did say that astronaut Billy Joe Armstrong did pass away.
Billy Joe.
Or wait, no, Neil Young.
Neil Young. That's
No, did you guys see that about Neil Young?
No.
CNBC reported that astronaut Neil Young had passed away.
Yeah.
And so the people who didn't hear the astronaut were like freaking out. Neil Young's dead. Oh, fuck. He's the godfather of grunge. We love Neil Young.
Do you think that got through because a guy just no longer cared about his job? Because it's one guy that sends that out, right? So he's like,
well,
fuck it, I'm tired of this.
I doubt if it was intentional. I
They
doubt.
write every famous person's obituary
Yeah.
years before they die.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I would believe it. Well, it'd be an ongoing process, I would think.
You'd have to
right?
add credits.
I heard it was like a thing on NPR about
Yeah.
it, like a lady who worked at the newspaper, and so sometimes there's information that changes.
Yeah, you'd have
that
to edit
gets-
like survive
Do you
by.
think?
Yeah,
Do you think
like
they?
what goes up on the New York Times' website is not what goes in print that morning, and so they just put up the first thing and then they rewrite it.
Oh.
So do you think that this agency who's writing these obituaries and keeping track of them, they just get tired of like updating some people, so they just hire a hitman? It's like, let's just off this guy because we're tired of adding onto his obituary.
Yeah, and plus he'd be worth a lot more, and the obituary would be way more valuable if he just died right now.
Definitely, they'd buy some sort of memorabilia pertaining to the person.
Yeah. Did you mention that the Count had died?
No, but I was going to,
Oh.
yeah, from Sesame Street. Count Von Count.
How old was he?
A 1 and a 2 and a 3. I think it was like 72.
Ha 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 ha.
72 years. Ha ha ha. So yeah, that kind of ties in with last week's talk about Snuffleupagus, the gay.
Dude, every time we mention somebody,
Snuffy's gay?
No, he wasn't gay, but he was a pedophile.
no,
Snuffy's a pedophile?
he
Yeah.
brought in Chimo to Sesame Street because what happened was,
Don't tell anybody about me.
yeah, Big Bird would go in the corner and he'd be like, "Don't tell any of your friends about me."
And you notice how his trunk was just about Big Bird's
Yeah.
crotch height. So
Yeah.
hey,
And he had those,
Showering my
dude,
childhood here.
dude, those
No.
lips, dude, did kind of look like a vagina if you think about it.
I bet it could reach right up there too, even though he was a big bird.
That
Man,
bottom
I'm glad
pink mouth
vaginas
just
don't
hanging
have
down.
trunks.
Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus. You know what a fupus is?
Oh man, we just ruined Jesse's childhood.
My God.
That's okay. We've used this podcast for that. I ruined my childhood about Ween, and I ruined my childhood about Dio, because that's not his real name, and it's just
Ronnie James Dio, that's not his real
No,
name.
it was Ronnie
Rest in
James
peace.
Papadavo or something stupid.
Ronnie James Papadavo?
Yeah.
But
And
that doesn't
Was it-
sound
well,
nearly
wait.
as
I know, and Dean
Wait.
and Gene Ween,
He'd
that's
have
not
to
their
be
names
one of
either.
those
I-
Baroque metal bands.
Yeah.
I question whether or not his real name was Ronnie or Ronald.
I think it's Ronald.
Ronald.
Ronald James Papanamo. Paparazzi. That's not even right, but it's close. Hey, I think we've got about 10 minutes left, so I don't want to hurt Hans's feelings, so we got to get to what's in Hans's CD player. We do this every episode.
Hans's CD
player.
Hans is a good friend of mine. He used to play in a band called Victims of Internal Decay with me, and now
Did
is...
he have any bands before that?
No. He played in... that Void was his first band. But Keith Rowe did tell me the other night that he saw Hans blew up his first amp on his bed,
Wow.
which is weird why he had an amp on the bed, but yeah, he was talking about knowing Hans back when Hans was like 14 and got his first guitar, and then he was a straight A student, and then he dropped out of school and went crazy and grew his hair out and joined a death metal band.
Wow.
And now he's back. He's full circle. He's back to normal guy, relying on the Tagcast podcast to give him entertainment every day at work. He's actually why we went to 3 episodes a week. He goes,
Loyal
"You guys need to
listener.
do it every day." What?
Loyal listener here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one time we skipped What's in Hans's CD player, and he called me. He texted me.
Done-time guest is
He's
what
like,
he is.
"Did I get canceled?"
How
Like,
do you
no.
know what's in his CD player?
I text him every day, and he tells me. And today he texted me, and I don't even know who this is. I've heard him talk about Bohren, and I
Who?
said, "Are those boring? Those
Bohren?
guys are boring." It's spelled Bohren, but here's the full name: Bohren und der Club of Gore.
Oh, I remember. I saw those guys live and never.
He's listening to Bohren und
like
der
industrial
Club
music
of Gore. I believe so. Something we'll have to look into
Is
that.
it like a ministry
The album is-
industrial,
the
or is
album-
it more like a...
That's why Hans also wishes our podcast was live, so he could call us and say, "You idiots, this is what it is. You guys don't even know what you're talking about." But anyway, he's listening to the album
He send us
Black Earth.
YouTube.
Well, he looks.
YouTube
he
links.
probably expects us to do that. Maybe we'll check out Bohren on next episode. Bohren.
Sounds boring.
Well, because it sounds German.
Und der. Yeah,
Here they
with the
cover that
und
one song
der.
by
A lot of their...
Du.
Hast. Hans will be mad if you compare Bohren und der Club of Gore to that band. What are they called?
Chumbawamba?
No. Du Hast band. Rammstein.
That's right.
German for
Rammstein.
battering ram.
Yeah. So anyway, he's listening to Bohren, and the album's called Black Earth, so check that out.
Yes.
And not to be, what am I? I always say I'm narcissistic. I added a segment, What's on Terry's Turntable. Jesse talked about people liking vinyl. I try to listen to vinyl at least once a day. And today, before we came down, I listened to an old gem you guys might not know about by a band called Angel City. Remember them?
No.
All right, good. The album's called Night Attack. You should check it out. They had a hit with a song that who was it? Great White covered. I Don't Want to Face the Day.
Rock me.
No. That's close. That's
Take me
close.
through the night.
So that's what's on my turntable is Angel City Night Attack. I think it's from
Angel City.
1981 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it was old school. It had some
So-
pops and crackles.
You have been listening to a classic episode of the Tagcast Podcast. To hear the rest of this or more episodes of the Tagcast Podcast, go to tagcastpodcast.com.